What do you sense on the other side of this door?
Just an openness, a darkness. And
Darkness.
Just a big void, open space.
Big void in space. Very good. So I'd like for you to just adjust your body to this big void. And just sense your body in this void. And just breathe into it. And as you're in this void, I want you to notice if you're able to move in this void.
Feels like I can just drift in it.
Beautiful. So let's begin to drift and float within this void. Begin to adjust.
Feeling the pressure on my ribs.
Mm-hmm.
Like a warmth as well. It's a burning sensation.
Mm-hmm. And if you feel any discomfort whatsoever, you can just observe it. What do you imagine is this pressure?
It's not intense, it's a subtle one.
A subtle one, very good.
And there's a bit of a dryness in the throat.
Very good. So I'd like for you to just continue to drift and notice anything that you notice. Look around in this void. What do you sense? What do you notice?
Silver linings came up for me.
Mm-hmm. Tell me more about that. Tell me more.
Can't place what they came from. That was what came up for me. I felt silver linings. They felt like the void wasn't all there was. There wasn't just darkness. There was.
So keep exploring this void.
Yeah.
Let's see what else is in there. Allow the images and the knowing to come. And as it comes, just say it out loud. What do you notice next?
Nothing much is coming up at the moment.
All right. So I'd like for you now to use your intention and create like a sort of wormhole in the void to begin to take you to the next place. What does this wormhole look like that you've created?
It's got a spiral on it.
Very good. Which way does it spiral?
It's going, starting from me, it's going away from me in a clockwise direction.
Very good. So I'd like for you to use your intention to begin moving towards that spiral. And go within it when you're ready. And as you go through, just describe to me what you sense.
I had some red.
Some red.
And a spiral. Like a spiral of red laced in.
Keep going through that spiral. Tell me what's on the other end.
I'm not getting a movement in the spiral.
So you can move throughout the spiral. Allow yourself to just go through that spiral. All you have to use is your intention. Let's find the source of that spiral. What's on the other end? Use your imagination. What do you imagine?
I imagine it would be a light of some sort. Bright light.
Very good. So keep going towards that light and tell me what that light is like.
It's I'm getting a warming sensation in my heart.
Very good.
It's not overpoweringly bright or anything. It's just a lightness.
Wonderful. So I'd like for you to go within that feeling. Keep following that feeling within. That's it. And you may sense the sound of the movement and use that to travel more.
The feeling in my heart is widening and opening.
Very good. Tell me more about that widening feeling.
It's just like an expansion of the warmth that I'm feeling.
Very good.
Expanding, and it feels like it's an opening.
Keep expanding it wider and wider. Almost as if you were able to go inside of that.
That's how it's feeling.
Can you imagine what it would feel like to slip inside of that warmth, of that expansion? What would that feel like now?
Pretty awesome.
Awesome, very good. So I'd like for you to just feel that feeling of awesomeness. Bask in it. And with that feeling of awesomeness, you can connect with the knowing of what the source is of this awesomeness.
Love.
Love, very good. Expand that love even more like a flower blooming. Feel that love expanding more. And I'd like for you to go deep within that love. And let's see what you can get from this love. Like those bumblebees that are able to tap in to the pollen of the flowers.
I am this love.
Tap in deeper. And within this love is information. Information that's needed to flow. What is within this information of love that Brian needs to know today? What has he come to tap into?
Nothing's coming up.
So keep flowing through this love. And as you're feeling this love, we're going to go to another time and place in which this love was used. I'm going to count from 5 to 1. And we're going to go to another time and another place where this love was used to do what Brian does now. 5, traveling through time and space, tapping into the love and riding it. 4, to another time, another place, where he used this love as empowerment, as a tool. 3, drifting and floating on love, the energies. 2, allow the images and the knowing to come, riding the love. And 1, be there now, be in the knowing. Where are you? What do you remember? Connect with the feelings, with the emotions, with the knowing. Trust your first impression. What do you know from this spot? What words or emotions or feelings come up? The more you talk.
Yes. I don't seem to be getting very much at the moment, except there's just just a calmness.
Very good. Yeah. That's what you need.
Yeah, just a calmness.
So I'd like for you to just float in that calmness. Imagine yourself just floating in that calmness.
There's a color of green with it.
Mm-hmm. Allow that green to speak to you. Where's that green coming from? See if you could find the source. What's the first word that comes into your mind?
It was just love again.
Love again, very good. Is this a green associated with love?
That's what it feels like.
Mm-hmm. So just imagine yourself as you see that green zooming out. Let's zoom out of that green, almost as if you were doing a camera. And let's see what this green actually is. What do you notice first?
I didn't notice anything, but the word meadow came up to me.
Meadow, beautiful, very good. So I'd like for you to just ponder about that meadow word. What comes next?
Nature.
Nature. Keep going. Connect with it.
It opens up to just wild, I suppose, wild bush.
Mm-hmm.
Natural.
Yes. Keep going. As you describe, more will come in. What comes next? What do you notice as you zoom out?
It's everywhere.
Mm-hmm. And notice from where it is that you're noticing this meadow. Are you within the meadow or above it?
I feel like I'm above it.
Mm-hmm.
And the meadow expands into all the bush and sort of just nature, wild.
So I'd like for you to use your senses and see if you could connect with this nature. Listen. Does this meadow speak with you? sense the feelings. If the meadow could speak with you, what would it say?
It's the... I just get a sense that it's the untouched, allowing to be.
Yes. How does that make you feel?
Pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. So connect with it even more. What do you notice next?
That it is love.
Mm-hmm. Is this the same feeling that you felt before?
It's more intense. It's a beautiful feeling of just pure love.
Mm-hmm. What can you use from this nature?
Just absorbing it.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and absorb it.
I feel it so deeply.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a gift.
Mm-hmm. Understand that your subconscious mind has been giving you this gift for a reason. You will understand why on a subconscious level.
I'm just feeling a deep gratitude right now.
Mm-hmm. So I'd like for you to extend the gratitude back for this gift.
There's an ache that I feel in my heart.
Mm-hmm. Let's identify that ache. Let's find the origin of it. Go deep within your heart and find what is causing it. What's the words, the emotions that come up?
Abuse.
Mm-hmm. Tell me more about this abuse.
It's an unknowing abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Ignorance.
Mm-hmm. Keep saying the words. Allow them to just flow right out.
There's no judgment in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just it feels like an observed abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Witnessing it.
Yes.
Seeing it.
Mm-hmm. And I'd like for you to just continue following that heartache. Where is it coming from? Is it within Brian or within something else?
It feels like it might. To begin with, it felt like Brian.
Mm-hmm. Follow it. Where is it coming from?
And then it also feels like it's humanity, and as a whole.
Yes.
It expands into that.
So is Brian tapping into the ignorance of humanity regarding this nature?
It feels like that.
Mm-hmm. How can he help humanity with its heartache? He has all this love within. How can that assist?
The words came up allowing it to flow. I don't,
Mm-hmm.
to follow. Just allowing the flow.
Mm-hmm. So
flow of love, the gift that nature gives us, and returning it.
Yes. So how is he allowing this flow to happen? How does he do that?
The greatest is the initial part, is the acknowledgement of it.
Mm-hmm.
Acknowledgement of nature. Acknowledgement of what it is and how integrated it is, that it is life.
Mm-hmm. Is this why Brian has been able to cultivate nature so abundantly in the past? Does he connect with that love?
Deeply drawn.
Mm-hmm. What is it that Brian does in order to allow these plants to grow so abundantly? How does he do that?
And knowing that that nature, each plant, it's recognizing every plant as in beautiful being.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that I already know, so...
Yes. So do the plants recognize him? Do they recognize his energy? Let's find out.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens when he interacts with nature.
I get a smile.
Mm-hmm.
I get an affection. It's like joy.
Mm-hmm. So do they grow because they're smiling? Or do they grow perhaps in gratitude? Let's find out. What makes those plants grow so much?
There's a sense that they are reflecting humanity.
Mm-hmm.
And through acknowledgement of them, there's a freedom for them to fully realize their potential.
Mm.
And to be their amazing selves.
So that's what he's doing when he's with these plants.
Yeah.
Yes.
Opening the way.
Opens the way.
Mm.
So if plants are individual beings, as he says, what happens when Brian is in front of someone who has come to him for assistance?
They're embraced and acknowledged as who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Their true selves were.
Yes.
As love.
As love. So how does this love help the person?
It is their source.
It's their source.
It is who they are.
Mm-hmm. So this energy of light and love, is this the Christed consciousness?
It is.
Yes. So how can he apply this in the future? Besides plants? How can he apply it in his life?
By being it.
Mm.
Simply by being just love.
Being love.
with no requirement. Just embracing all with love, as it is.
Has Brian come to this planet with that love already? Or did he acquire it on his way to an adult?
It's revealing itself to him more and more.
It is.
He's had it all along. He is it, as is everyone.
Yes.
We are all love.
But he feels like something bigger is going to happen. What is this revelation that is before him? What's happening? Will he be changing? What does he need to know at this time about this Christ consciousness?
Roll with it.
Roll with it.
Yeah, be it.
Be it.
Allow it to guide you.
But he, like everyone else, wants it now. He wants to be able to telepathically communicate with others.
He is it.
He's doing it already.
He already is it.
So how is it that he thinks he's not?
It's just doubt.
It's doubts. Why does he have all these doubts about himself? What's holding him back?
What he sees around him doesn't fully fit with what he's feeling. It feels out of place in the present surroundings on Earth, on this planet.
Yes.
It doesn't feel fully accepted and embraced.
By himself or by others?
By life around.
By life around him.
It's, yeah. It feels like that is what feels like the obstruction is needs to look beyond that.
He does. Because right now he's focused on these energies that he feels in his body.
Yeah.
The vortexes in his head. The energies in his neck that lock him up.
Yeah.
This is what he's focused on now. What is happening to his body? What are all of these sensations he's feeling?
The word unlocking comes into place.
What is he unlocking?
Revealing.
What's happening? What is he unlocking within himself?
The word purpose came there. I'm not sure.
So he's unlocking his purpose at this time.
It would seem so.
Yes. It seems that a lot has happened recently with his changes in where he lives, his profession, his passions. What is going on with him? What is this revelation and unlocking?
It's like huge releases of energy that no longer serves. There's been, it just feels like phases of release.
Phases of
Of
release.
letting go.
So are these physical things that he's feeling?
It's massive emotional stuff. It's energy carried within. I can't place the source right now.
Where does he release them to? How does he release them? Let's see.
It's like into the light, into love.
Into the light.
Yeah.
So he knows how to do this.
He does.
Yes. Is he able to release this emotional stuff from other people also?
It feels like a task sometimes.
Is he meant to be doing this? Is he meant to do this?
I don't get it.
All right.
I don't get an objection to it. It feels... I'm just reading. It would feel right, yes.
Yes, it would feel like. He has ideas that he can do massive healings. Instant healings. Where is this coming from? Is this from this lifetime or for other lifetimes?
It feels like from a higher understanding.
From a higher understanding. Can we take Brian into that higher understanding now? Could you take...
The answer yes comes there. Can we take a break?
Yes. I'm going to touch your shoulder. When I touch it, you could open your eyes, be able to go to the bathroom. When you come back, we'll be able to go to that level. Eyes open.
Didn't see anything, but Earth came up for me.
All right. Very good. Tell me what you notice. What's the first thing you notice as you observe Earth?
I found peace.
Tell me more.
Tranquility came up.
From this perspective that you're observing Earth, is this the Earth in which the body of Brian lives on now? Or is it a different Earth?
New Earth. Yeah, it just feels like it's far more peaceful. The feeling is peaceful.
Yes. And what does Brian have to do with this new Earth? What is his role? Is he an observer?
He's certainly observing right now. I can... green came up for me here. It's just...
What does he need to know about this
nature
green?
Again. It's green.
What is his role with this nature? Is there something that he is doing to helping with this new Earth?
Connecting.
Connecting. Tell me more about it.
Connecting with nature. It goes beyond nature. It's to all life.
To all of life. Because he even has an awareness that there are no pests, that all is one. Is this correct?
Yes.
Connect with those pests now. What do you feel?
I don't recognize any.
What message do they have?
It's the same as the plants. They're here. What are considered pests, they're not pests. But they are sharing and reflecting what humanity is putting out as a collective. And as humanity heals and moves into love, what is seen as disease and pests will no longer be. They're simply here. Like the disease of plants is showing the disease of humanity. And pests are reflecting the separation and the separateness that humanity is living under.
So what can humans do in order to live in harmony with those that we consider pests, illnesses, and disease?
By going within themselves and healing each being can heal themselves and learn to love themselves as they are, to drop all self-judgment, to truly honor who they are and open their way to discovering and revealing their true sense, their true essence, which is love.
Beautiful. So how can Brian embody this in his life in order to help others?
He is consciously applying this in his everyday life. And will continue to. And by sharing this message as well.
How can he discern the difference from his higher self? How does he know he's receiving this information?
Just through knowing, through love. It's an energy that is born in love, and it's a sense, you can feel it. He can feel it.
Where is this love felt in his human body?
All over.
All over. Very good.
It's actually felt everywhere.
Is this the vibrations that he's feeling?
Yeah, he feels it in the heart, everywhere.
So how can he use these energies of love within himself to heal his own body?
As you embody this energy more and more of love, as you become the embodiment of it, the body will heal. It will reflect this. There's no need for anything else.
So, just like we were speaking about the plants, how they get diseased as a reflection of humanity.
Yes.
What is causing the issues with the eyesight in Brian's own body? What is that is falling apart? What is he mirroring or reflecting? What's happening with his vision?
Connecting again with there's what I'm picking up is not seeing himself fully for who he is.
Okay. So when he begins to really see himself as the embodiment of this Christ consciousness,
Acknowledging it.
and acknowledging, he must speak it.
He must
speak it to himself, acknowledge it.
Yeah, and trust it, and have faith in it. Believe it.
Yes.
It's real. Have no doubt.
So will he be able to heal his vision? If he has no doubt.
It is there.
It is there.
Yeah.
Very good.
Just move towards it, be it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
What about his mouth? He has had issues with his teeth. Crumbling. What is crumbling in his life?
What he thought to be real.
Can you explain even further?
Yeah. Everything that he's learnt in his life up to this point of realization that came to him some years back, he bought into it wholeheartedly and was completely can we say disconnected with who and what he is.
Yes.
As love. And to move into the deepest understanding of this love means letting go of all that was before, that what came, all the beliefs that he held.
Yes.
They do not resonate in the same frequency.
So is there a way for him to save his teeth? Now knowing that was his sign that he was breaking away from his old self.
Yes, he's no need to have any concern there.
Okay. Any advice regarding his teeth?
Love them.
Love them. Very good. What about his body? Every once in a while he feels his joints aching. What is his body telling him?
Getting old. There's that's all that comes up there.
That's all that's coming up.
Yeah.
So how can he care for his body moving into the future?
It's just a belief, and it will resolve as you let go of that belief.
Yes.
So just releasing that belief.
Just releasing the belief that by being old, it gets achy.
Yeah, and even beyond that, open the question to yourself: is aging even real? Question that and see what comes up. Because when we really look at these things, we'll find there's much deeper answers to them. And ultimately, there is no aging.
So if there is no aging, are we able to regenerate our own limbs? Can we feel whole again? Is that possible?
It's what already is. We are whole. And the experience we have of the body is of our making. Here with our belief systems.
Yes.
And as we release any limiting beliefs, so we will find the freedom from those limitations.
So those that believe they can live forever.
So it is.
So it's really a society belief that has told us that we...
It's a taught belief, yeah. It's taken on.
Belief.
It's taken on.
Okay. So how can he use this idea now and feel comfortable by helping others with it?
Just to know it within himself.
So he needs to be an example.
And just to be it, yeah.
Okay, good. Good. Now he...
It's I just want to say it's too much for people to take on all at once. It's a process.
So what can we do taking baby steps forward in order to start working with these new beliefs that we are not limited? What would you say would be a good way for us to dive into this?
Start with something that's perceivable to your consciousness where it is now. Each one of us, we will all be at our own levels of consciousness and awareness. And that's perfect as it is. And if we try and take too big a step, it's like setting a gap and trying to jump across it. If it's too big, you know you're going to fail. Set it to something that you know you can achieve. So as far as a belief, that put it to something that you might be able to perceive as being possible, and then work with that.
Okay.
And take those steps, and then you can grow from that.
Very good.
As you achieve them.
So something as simple as stopping the common cold instead of...
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. That we can actually have a control over our own bodies.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Completely.
Now I'd like to know, you have not shown Brian any past lives. Has he had lifetimes here on Earth before?
No came up.
No, very good. So where is this coming from? Why is he here at this time? What is his mission and purpose?
To be love.
To be love.
To champion that cause. To hold that light.
To hold that light for others.
Yeah.
Why at this time has he chosen to incarnate on Earth to be this love? What's happening?
It's the shift in... We're going through a massive shift in consciousness.
Can you tell me about that shift?
An awakening into a higher level of being, where those who choose, there's no right or wrong here. And for those of humanity who choose, there's a path to opening up to, it is open, to pure love, to experiencing life as love.
Yes.
From what we are right now in the dualistic world.
So, did this soul choose to be here at this time? Or was he sent here?
Chose.
He chose. Where is his origin? Where does he come from?
First thing that came up there was Pleiades.
Pleiades. Very good. Can you show him a little glimpse of his life on the Pleiades? I'm going to count from 3 to 1. When I get to number 1, I'll tap his forehead. I want you to give him a picture of that lifetime. Taking a deep breath in now. 3, traveling through the Pleiades. 2, and 1. Be there now. Just your first impression. What comes to mind?
Green came to mind.
What is it that you do on the Pleiades? Look all around. Notice any movement, any color.
It's just all green. It's a real bush green.
Bush green. Yeah. What do you do there? Notice if you have a physical body or you're simply consciousness.
I'm feeling energy in my head right now. And it just feels like that's what it is, just an energy.
So now that you feel that energy, I'd like for you to just focus on that energy. What comes from that energy? Is it creative energy? Is it love?
It feels like life, love.
Life and love.
Yeah.
So have you chosen to bring those energies with you in this lifetime of Brian?
The link feels like the green.
Yes.
That's just, it's over. It's so strong right now. It's the green.
Keep going.
Everything feels green.
Are you part of this green?
It feels like I am it.
All right.
Yeah.
So see if you can identify what this energy is, this love and green energy. What word comes up?
As a description of this energy, is that your question?
Yes. What comes to mind?
The word life came in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like source.
Yes. So as you're in this space, in the Pleiades, feeling this love, this life, this green, I'd like for you to just take a moment and ponder. What is it that you're bringing into this lifetime of Brian from that place, from that aspect of yourself? What are you tapping into?
Unconditional love. It's source love.
Unconditional source love.
Yeah.
And how is it that Brian connects to this through you and the Pleiades?
By remembering.
By remembering.
Yeah.
Very good. So by remembering this source love, I'd like for you to just see the entire lifetime that Brian has lived. And notice where he has applied all of this love, all of this life. Opening up the revelations.
There's deep acknowledgement within him.
Yes.
Of times where it was completely absent in his life.
Yes.
And there's an acknowledgement of bringing in love here.
So as he
There's
moves,
no judgment here.
there's no judgment.
Yeah, it's just love and embracing and acceptance.
So right now, he is around people that have formed together in groups.
he wants to teach these people. Well, not teach, to, I suppose you could call it teaching. It's a demonstration of being love. He's tried sharing it through written words, like to individuals, and it has not been understood. And he knows and understands it. He's not concerned by this. He understands it.
Yes. So what advice would you like to give him now about this?
To stay true to who he is. To hold onto this truth and not to doubt himself. To stay true.
Very good.
Be love.
And how is he connected to the Templars of Melchizedek? Does he have any connection? Or was that someone else's ideas?
There's nothing in particular that's coming up.
All right.
In that space.
Okay. So he just has to remember of that love and that.
It's love.
It's love.
Key. That's the key. When you said Melchizedek, the only thing that came up immediately was love.
Love. Very good. So that really is who he is. Love.
It's his purpose.
It's his purpose. Very good. So I'd like to know right now, what is it that he needs to do moving forward with his life? What's coming up next for him? Why does he feel that he's at a point in his life when something very big is happening?
Be patient, Kane.
Be patient.
Yeah, and this is this is a collective effort. It goes well beyond this planet. And it's not up to the individual to set any time. We're all contributing as we're called to.
Wonderful.
And we will know when the time comes.
Wonderful. Thank you. May I ask, what is the reason for him to be here today? Why has he come to this session?
He would have said for an affirmation, but it goes further than that.
Can you explain what that is?
It's sharing a message to humanity and beyond.
What is that message, please?
Of moving within. We can only realize love out there by being it within ourselves. And we are the starting point. Each one of us that moves into the light and into love, we contribute that to the collective. It feels more important as I'm speaking here now for us to focus inwardly on ourselves and clear ourselves so that we can be the light. After all, there's not much point in trying to be a light that you're not. We are all this light, and it's just revealing it and opening the way for it. Clearing the obstacles, clearing our resentments, our hatreds, our angers, our frustrations. When they appear, it's acknowledging them and owning them as ours. And loving that part of ourselves that's feeling that, and releasing it. And letting it be replaced by love and light. Each emotion we feel is there for us. It's guiding us to something deeper within. It's like a flag being held by that part of you inside of yourself that needs your help, that needs your acknowledgement. May we all learn and understand the gift of emotions, the gift they carry for us, of inner healing. That way we may all move into the light and be it.
Very good, thank you. And what message do you have for the fly who has come in to visit today?
You're welcome.
This feeling of love.
You're one with all.
Very good. Is there anything else that I could have asked or that you would like to tell Brian today, or do you feel that we are complete?
Some reassurance, Brian, just to keep going. Keep it what you're doing.
Very good.
Yeah, just, it is a peaceful feeling.
Mm-hmm. Good. Is there anything else, or are we complete now?
It's just... And thank you to the work that you're doing, Alba.
Thank you. Wonderful.
And many more out there that are all contributing to this ascension. You're all acknowledged. And all that are on their way. Regardless of what path you're on, you're all acknowledged as beautiful beings of love and light. Regardless of whether you've woken up or not. It's truly acknowledging everybody as they are, without judgment. Nobody is better or greater than another.
Very good, thank you so much.
Thank you.
5, wide awake, completely alert, feeling wonderful all over. Wonderful.
Thank you, Alba.
You did great.
Thank you.
Didn't think you were going to take off, did you?
No.
Oh.
Well, yeah, it felt like there might be obstructions.
You did fantastic, though.
Thank
What a
you.
message to the world.
Yeah.
How much do you remember? You remember everything?
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah. How long do you think this session was? How did it feel like to you?
Not much more than an hour.
Not much more. We're about 1:15, something like that.
Okay.
You did great. Do you feel that everything was answered for you?
Yeah.
You're just remembering.
Yeah, it really is. It's a process of remembering and...
And you were told, be patient.
Yeah. That's the part.
It's not all about you.
Yeah, that's the part. Just to remember that part as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
that we're all in
just
this.
allow it to unfold.
It's like this is a collective thing happening. We're all part of it.
Yeah.
Of this machinery.
Totally.
And that it's not about you getting anywhere.
Yeah.
It's about you just being a part of this as it's happening and unfolding.
Yeah. Completely that.
Amazing.
It's so beautiful.
And I know there was a lot of stuff that you were probably receiving that you weren't saying. When you looked at your life,
Yeah.
do you realize that hit home.
There's an acknowledgement of it, and just holding love for all those, for the time that you spend in your life where you have not been connected to the energy of love and realized it.
Yeah.
And then we can sort of fall victim to judging ourselves maybe about what we have been.
Yes.
And it's not about that. It's really understanding that at any point all we're ever doing is the best we know how.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
We're working with the tools we have at the time, and that's all we've ever done.
So you do your best with what you have.
It's absolutely, in every moment. It's all we're ever doing. And we can't do it wrong. We can't do life wrong. All we can do is live life to the best of our ability.
That's great.
Yeah.
Do you want to share this video with others? Do you think get something?
I think it feels appropriate. Yeah.
Good. Okay, Brian, you did good.
Pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So we had a long time to take off the ground.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was going on in your mind as that was happening?
I was aware of not having images, and I suppose thoughts were coming in there that there's something not working here or something.
The
possibly.
ego.
Yeah.
The ego's talking.
So, and then as I opened up more and more just to the ideas that were coming in, then I was able to start communicating them, because I was sitting there waiting for images to appear, and they weren't there.
Right. And we talked about that beforehand.
Yeah. So it was just practicing to push that ego aside and that concern, and then becoming more aware of the words that were coming through.
Yes.
They were often just single words. Just a phrase or a short word. Yeah.
And that's what happens in sessions, is that some people are able to see beautifully with lots of vivid colors. Some people hear words. Some people actually read the words.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had any of those.
No, not in this.
And then some people just know. They just don't have anything at all. They just know. So I do discuss this beforehand, and we do exercises before we even start in order for you to go in and out of trance, because if you notice, after you went to the bathroom, things really started happening.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's what happens. People are always afraid to go to the bathroom, but usually when you go in and out of trance, when you come back in, you go deeper. And that's what happened.
Yeah, I'm just getting a bit of an energy hit right now.
And the interesting thing was at the end, the beautiful speech.
Yeah, that just came out.
That just was flowing out of there. It was almost like, what I interpreted is like, we got you here now. We have a message to the world. Say it.
Yeah, that's what feels appropriate. Yeah, and I thought I was coming here more for myself, but I think what came out of this session was, it's not about me. It's about the message for the world, about us as humanity.
Yes.
And what we're going through.
And about the fact that when you give love to something, it acknowledges it.
Totally. 100%.
Yeah.
Even if you don't notice it.
But you're doing it.
Just know, if you don't notice it responding, just know that it is at some level, there's a response in it.
So those people who, for example, have green thumbs, it's not that they have a green thumb, it's that they love their plants. They acknowledge them as beings. And of course, the plants love them back. By growing, by being happy. And if that's happening with a plant, imagine a human being giving that love to a human being and acknowledging them. And we had a little pest come in, a little fly at the end.
My buddy.
And it was really interesting because my first thought is, how are we going to get that fly out? But it went right out. We do have the door open here, so
just popped in.
Just popped in to say hi. So, do you recommend this to other people?
I certainly do. It's something that I really look forward to, and came with absolutely no expectations. Just whatever's going to show up is going to show up.
That's the best way.
I suppose the only thing I can say is that I thought it might be more about stuff within me, like I was saying earlier, but it was
it was a message.
It felt like more like a message. So I would highly recommend it.
And right now we are in Wellington.
Feeling pretty buzzy right now.
Yep, that's normal.
Yeah.
We're in Wellington, New Zealand. How far did you travel to get here?
I've travelled from Gisborne. It's about an hour and a quarter flight, yeah. So it wasn't too bad by plane.
By plane.
Would have taken a lot longer to walk.
Over the hills. So if you enjoyed this session, sign up for my newsletter. It comes out once a month. Once it comes up, you click on the links to get here.
Yeah.
And if you are one who sees a date and a time, just click on it and you've got the session. If you're not,
quick.
you have to be really quick. If not, come to one of my gatherings. I do have them all around the world. These are to bring in like-minded individuals, share our love, share our energy with each other. It's an amazing experience. So if I don't see you at the session, let's see you at one of the gatherings. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I certainly did. It was really lovely.
Love to everyone.
Love to
Absolute
everyone.
love, yeah.
Bye. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Give me that hug.
Welcome.